That should be working,
right?
This
is based on a true story. It's called Island Picnic.
Dale.
One night last summer, the air conditioning in my apartment on Greeley Street broke yet again. That day, the temperature had been over 100 degrees, and probably 95 of them were still packed in that apartment. So I headed out for an evening walk. It was about 8 p.m. on a Wednesday night. Normally I like to walk late at night on Foothill Boulevard. I like Foothill because if I ever need tires, I can get them at any one of 17 different places. It's not crowded like other streets with restaurants and nightclubs, and with people walking from one place to another, laughing and talking and having fun. No, Foothill at night is very quiet, except for the rush of cars driving like hell to get somewhere else. But this night, I decided to turn off Foothill and head up Commerce Avenue. The air was still thick with heat, and I could feel a slightly cooler breeze coming down from the mountains. I walked past the empty beige buildings, their windows dark and empty, like the eye sockets of old skulls. I was only a block or so up from Foothill when I noticed something out of place, something different. I was hearing music. I stopped to see if I could locate the source, and it seemed to be coming from an area about a block ahead. What is this, I thought. This sounds like something is actually live on Commerce Avenue at night. I continued to walk, and I saw ahead of me a pool of light spilling onto the sidewalk from the Comfort and Joy Cafe. As I approached, I could see people were dining at cafe tables on the sidewalk. Others were chatting or smoking cigarettes, and still others were just standing or moving about in the island of light. I saw two musicians with instruments talking eagerly to each other in musician code, saying things like, key of G in 6, and we'll start out in A minor, and I think it would be good if we flatted the 5th at the end of the phrase. I stood near the entrance to the patio, taking in the sight. It was like an island in the middle of nowhere, a place where some creative people sailed up and were having a picnic, reveling and creating for themselves a splendid time. Here was life under the festive strands of lights on an otherwise desolate Commerce Avenue. The smell of food came drifting out, a whiff of coffee, and that unmistakable atmosphere of wine from many glasses. There seemed to be a break in the music, so I entered and sat down. I was offered a plastic cup of wine, a nice infidel, still youthful but old enough to be enjoyed, a bit fruit-forward but rounded with an unusual finish for a zing, or so said the nice man who gave me the wine, and whose eyes filled with tears as he described it. A server took my order for dinner and whisked away. Then the music started again. The whole show seemed to be run by a man named Dale, whose facial expression alternated between amused, satisfied, and sometimes annoyed. But underneath it all was love. Love for the music, love for the musicians who played it, love for this picnic on the island of comfort and joy. And I saw and heard remarkable things. A 17-year-old girl performing for the first time, trembling and hurrying through a cover of her favorite indie song. I saw people walk up from the audience, each picking up an instrument and spontaneously play together like a well-rehearsed band. I heard a young man perform in a fumbling manner and a bit off-key, but with such blazing sincerity I felt myself choke up. There were seasoned players doing old favorites, as well as gifted songwriters sharing original material, songs that can reach inside and stir you. I heard people sing, Some off-key or too loud or too soft, but many were just right. A Goldilocks scene of sound at the comfort and joy. And the only truly discordant sounds I heard that entire night were the terrible screams of $5 bills that were still in the pockets of people who were leaving. $5 bills that desperately wanted to be used to cover the unpaid corkage fees, or $5 bills that wanted to be thrown in Dale's tip jar. As I ate my dinner and sipped on my second glass of wine, I thought to myself, what is this thing, music? Why is music so damned important that we will put up with all kinds of hardship to continue to hear it, to write it, to play it, and to live it? What does music do for us and for us that it motivates the kind of scene I was witnessing? And out of somewhere came an answer. Music is something we can do that can soften that harsh mistress called time. Time, who beats the crap out of us. Time, who will defeat us all in the end. But while we're here, music can change time for us. Indeed, isn't music just time itself, dressed up in sonic decorations of our choosing? For just a moment, for the duration of a song, music allows us to become the master of time, making it run fast or slow, sweet and happy or sad and full of longing. A skillful musician, instrument in hand, can say, fuck you, time. You have to do what I say now, and while I'm playing, I damn well own you. And then I realized, not only do the musicians get to beat up on time, but the listeners get to as well. Time gets smacked around by all those hands clapping along, gets crushed beneath those tapping toes, gets taken advantage of by all those dancers jumping up and joining the music with their bodies. For the moment of the song, time jumps through our hoops, and here, at the Comfort and Joy, we own it. Well, that was intense, wasn't it? That must have been some damn Vine's infidel. Now I know why the man was crying, and I know I'd be back the next week for more at the Comfort and Joy Cafe.